our generation is haster astir, that there are people who are religious, supposedly religious, and they don't know that they don't know. And that's the biggest problem. When a person thinks he knows, when a person thinks he's religious already, big trouble. I once heard a story when I first came to Breslov. This is when I was like 17 years old. And it stayed with me, and it's made such an important impression. There was a group of friends who were very close. They always used to do things together, and they loved to fool around, to play games. Yeah. And one of them liked to drink. And every once in a while, they'd get him drunk to see. They wanted to see what would, how he would handle it. One day, they came up with an incredible plan. They knew that in their city, there was a priest. And the priest doesn't have anything of value in his house. He's a poor guy, so he doesn't lock the doors. And he leaves his house every morning at this and this time, and he's out of the house for so many hours, and then he comes back. Sure enough, they took this friend of theirs, and they got him to drink, and they got him drunk. And when he was good and drunk, they brought him into the priest's house. They snuck into the house, and they put on the robes of the priest, and they dressed him up and put him in the chair in the guy's office, and they close the door, and they go outside to look in through the window. They want to see what's going to happen when he starts coming around and he sees himself in this get-up and everything. So they're looking and they're watching, and they see him start coming around, and he takes a look, and he's horrified. He says, what is this, crazy? This is my clothes. My name is Chaim Goldstein. I ain't no priest. Can't believe, what am I doing in this clothes? This is absurd. And then they see him looking. When a guy's drunk, everything he's thinking, he's saying. Then they see him looking, he's checking the sleeves, and it fits. Just everything. And he sees he's in the house, in the office, and he says, then what, if I'm not the priest, what am I doing here? Why am I dressed like this? I have to be the priest. And he's going back and forth in his mind, and everything he keeps saying. 1 minute I have to be, and the next minute I can't be. I remember I'm... Then 1 minute he looks, he sees a bookshelf, and he has a big smile on his face. He says, now I'm going to know for sure. I'm going to know in 1 minute if I'm the priest or not. It's very simple. I'm going to go over and take out one of those books. If I can read, I know their books are written in Latin. If I can read it, then it means I'm the priest. There's no question about it whatsoever. And if I can't read it, then I'll know for sure I'm not. Simple. And he's gleeful. He's got a gleeful smile. He goes over to the bookshelf. He pulls out the book. And he doesn't know which way to hold it. He doesn't know which way's up. He can't. See, he slams it shut. I knew it. I knew I can't be the priest. Ridiculous. Of course I'm not a priest. And he's sitting there, sitting and thinking. And he goes, now I got it. I figured it out. Really, I am the priest. Proof is, I'm here and I'm dressed up. I got all this stuff. The reason why I can't read the book, none of the priests can read the book. This story I heard in Mea Sharim, told by one of the rabbis, one of the older rabbis in Breslov. He was about 80 years old at the time. And he said, this story applies to us. This story is us. That sometimes we're wearing the clothes and we think that if I'm wearing the clothes, must be that I'm a rabbi, must be that I'm a tzaddik. As I'm praying, but must be that I'm a tzaddik. On one hand, look at me, I have a beard, I have everything. So I must be one of the religious guys. And again, the lady across the street, she said to me, hey, rabbi. She called me a rabbi, so I must be a rabbi, that. And then the guy starts reading the Torah, and he reads about the great tzaddikim and things that they did. And he starts wondering, he says, wow, it describes how they prayed. When I pray, those things don't happen. When I pray, I don't feel totally disconnected from anything physical, So, am I the priest or I'm not the priest? Back and forth. And then one of the ways that people resolve that question is by saying, really, I am the priest. Really, I am religious. Really, I am. The fact that I don't have kavanah when I'm praying, the fact that I'm doing so many things wrong, the answer is everybody else is also. There are no religious people. Everyone's messed up. So, we're all, And that's a big mistake. That's the Satan playing with people. That they think that in this generation there aren't any real religious people. There's nobody who has real emunah or real yirat shamayim, that kind of thing. And it ain't true. Just because you don't have it doesn't mean that there's... If you don't have it, then search, look, and find somebody who does have it. And to answer your question, whatever a person can do to study these sifarim and to promote them and to help, each one of us has a role to play in spreading the teachings of the true tzaddikim, making it available to those who need it the most. Who needs it the most? You said it, the kids. The kids. I just got a phone call a few hours ago from Israel on my cell phone. I was in Manhattan. And it was a friend of mine who leads a group of kids in Yerushalayim, a group of maybe 100. And he was telling me that Purim is coming, and he wants to make a Mesibat Purim tomorrow night, Wednesday night for them. And he said it's going to cost $100, $150. And he said he approached this one, he approached that one. He didn't know what, people were. So he said he thought of me. He knows that I try to help him. So he thought he'll call me. So he called my Israeli number, and I had left a message saying I'm not in Israel. So he called my American phone. It went straight to the message. So he said, I don't know your situation. I'm sure you have a lot. I said, definitely, gladly. I heard the word kids, and I know these kids, and I know the one that's leading the kids. He's a diamond. He's a person who's a Yerei Shamayim, and he knows how to make the kids laugh and everything. I know if he's going to get them together tomorrow night about Purim, he's going to inspire them. So I jumped on an opportunity to be able to do that. Each one of us, each one in their own way, whatever you can do to promote these sifarim, to promote helping the Jews get the right information, get the right sifarim, things that inspire, and that's what we need to do. Should be zocher, each and every one of us, to do our part, and in that zechut to help, because most of the kids are diamonds. All the kids, all the Jewish kids. Many of them just don't know. They don't know, or somebody said the wrong thing to them, or somebody looks at them the wrong way. And in today's generation, they're so fragile. The wrong look, he's out the door. He's not interested. Because the Satan tells him that religion is unhealthy. It's unhealthy. It's the last thing in your life that you need, that you want. And if we're zocher to know that this is the greatest blessing in life, and to be able to make them feel like he said, not to show them that they're nothing, but to be able to take any drop of good that they do and build it up. A person, when they're down, you're not allowed to rebuke them at all. On the contrary, you have to take the tiniest good thing that they do and magnify it. Wow! The guy came into shul 2 minutes before they're finishing, right at the end. And some people look at him like a piece of junk, a chutzpah. He's coming into shul now, coming in at all. He's coming in for the kiddush, And another person looks, wow, you made it. You made it. You got to hear the last kaddish. You got to hear Amen Yeshmei Rabbah. It was worth being born to be able to say Amen Yeshmei Rabbah, right? Two ways of looking at the same thing. One person's going to create somebody, and the other person's going to destroy somebody.
The cup half full or half empty.
Huh?
It's like the cup half full or half empty.
Exactly.
Always looking with the positive eye.
Exactly. And the great tzaddikim, they have this knowledge. They know how to interpret the Torah correctly for this generation. There are certain things. The Ari HaKadosh, during his time, knew that if a person did this sin, he's got to fast 40 days. And this sin, 84 fasts. And this sin, rolling in snow. And the Baal Shem Tov came along and said, that was right. That was 100% good 200 years ago. Today it's a different situation, different prescription. If you try to use that medicine today, it's not going to work. What do you mean? The Ari HaKadosh said, you're right. He said it for his generation. He was the authority in his generation to lead them. He knew what would work then. In our generation, different prescription. Tefillah, hitbodedut, chizuk, simcha. Definitely.
Does it depend on the person, or is it just the generation?
Both, definitely.
So Chachamim were given the enablement, the ability from a halachic standpoint to make certain tikkunim for the generation? For
Definitely.
example, you have certain things that the Rav Kook Zatzal, or Rabbi Avraham Yitzchak Cohen Kook,
Sure.
have gone through, and for example, things that he said they established for the generation where we're at now. There's certain things that are matim to
Definitely.
be done, or the Lubavitcher Rebbe.
Definitely. Definitely. Proof is we see at B'li'ayin Hara these people brought many people close to Hashem. How many thousands of families do you have today that are Shomer Shabbat, Shomer Mitzvot, in the zechut of these people? They're Mesirat Nefesh. I was just in Miami, in Hallandale, a mikveh from Chabad has a mikveh. Beautiful mikveh, new mikveh that was built clean, spotless, shower, everything. And I came at the wrong time. They usually open at 1 o'clock, and I was there at 12:30. And I said, "But all right, come. Can you go quick? Go ahead. Come on. A welcome, a tremendous welcome, a warm that's attracting thousands of Jews that other people aren't attracting. It's a tremendous accomplishment. To be continued.
Thank you so much. If anybody wants to follow up on the shiurim of the Rav, you could. There's a website called BreslovTorah.com.
Exactly.
And there's MP3 shiurim. You could the whole Likutei Moharan from beginning till end is on audio. You could click on any lesson.
If anybody wants a card, these have the website on it. It has my